Hello students, are you ready for the dictation? Start. 13. In the present case, the plaintiff, Tota Ram, was definitely interested in the immovable property, having a registered will of 1988 in his favor, and we do not find, either in the pleadings or in the evidence, that he had given his consent, expressly or impliedly, to Vikram Singh, defendant number 1, to transfer the property in favor of defendant numbers 2, 4 and 5. Nowhere in the written statements filed by defendants 1, 2, 4 and 5 have they pleaded that defendant number 1 had obtained the consent, either expressly or impliedly, from the plaintiff before making the transfers. Further, the proviso to Section 41 of the Transfer of Property Act requires that the transferees to take reasonable care in ascertaining that the transferor had power to make the transfer and that they had acted in good faith. This again would require specific pleading and evidence by the transferees. As already recorded above, even at the cost of repetition, defendants 2, 4 and 5, the purchasers, from defendant number 1 neither pleaded such facts nor entered the witness box to prove such facts as required under the proviso. The relief granted by the High Court, relying upon Section 41 of the Transfer of Property Act, was thus completely unwarranted, misplaced, and against the pleading and evidence on record. Once the High Court had held that the will dated 12 December 1988 was genuine and bona fide and duly proved, and further that the will dated 16 May 1994 was not a valid document, being shrouded with suspicious circumstances, there was no occasion for the High Court to have shown any kind of sympathy with the purchasers, that is, defendants 2, 4 and 5. Once the will itself was held to be invalid, no right accrued in favor of defendant number 1, and if defendant number 1 did not receive any right, title or interest under the will dated 16 May 1994, there was no question of defendants 2, 4 and 5 getting any better right, title or interest than defendant number 1, their vendor. We find substance in the aforesaid submission as from the pleadings, evidence, and material on record. We find that the submission on behalf of the plaintiff's appellants is fully substantiated. As such, the appeal filed by the plaintiff's appellants deserves to be allowed. 14. Insofar as the appeal filed by the defendant number 1 is concerned, we are very much clear that the findings recorded by the First Appellate Court and the High Court on the validity of the second will dated 16 May 1994, being shrouded with suspicious circumstances, is well reasoned and based on evidence on record. The defendant number 1 had completely failed to dispel and clear the clouds surrounding the will dated 16th May 1994. The first appellate court has dealt with in great detail on the said aspect, which finding has been affirmed by the High Court. The same, being a pure finding of fact, we are not inclined to interfere with the same. As such, the appeal filed by the defendant number 1 Vikram Singh is liable to be dismissed. In view of the above, the appeal number 8187 of 2023 is allowed. The judgment of the High Court, to the extent it extends benefit to the defendant numbers 2, 4 and 5, is set aside, and that of the first appellate court decreeing the suit in totality is affirmed. Thank you, students. Over.